Richie, I mean, I know you guys are in a bye week. I know you want to move on and get the Cincinnati game past you, but is that hard to do? I mean, when you lose a game like that, is it a game that kind of goes over in your mind again and again about maybe things you could have done differently?
Our mistakes definitely plays over and over, but that's something we try not to focus on, because it ain't gonna do nothing but leave us stuck in the past. Trying to move forward, and the only way to move forward is with another win and fixing your mistakes from the last game.
So when you look at the fixes, specifically for maybe the DBs, what are you looking on fixing priority-wise this week?
Just being, like 1 step, 2 steps closer to the ball, like being, where we need to be. Basically, it wasn't a lot of mental mistakes out there. It was just, we got beat, not paying attention, not knowing down distance sometimes, stuff like that, little stuff like that. But those things are fixable, so that's the good thing about it.
What do you think causes those lapses, though?
Not sure, to be honest. We just got to prepare a little better. Get a little more film work in. Obviously, people make mistakes, but we're trying to minimize ours.
Obviously, the 2 losses are both by very close margins. How frustrating is it? You're 4-2, but you're so close to being 6-0. How frustrating is that?
Very frustrating. As a competitor, I mean, a close loss. I don't know, man. We lost 2 games by 4 points, so I don't know. It's just very hard to deal with that sometimes. But this team, like I give all the credit to this team. We know how to take stuff, evaluate it, and move on.
What's the focus been like this week?
We just honed in. We sharp. We worried about getting people recovered. We're about getting players recovered, and we were about just looking at our mistakes from the previous game and trying to fix those.
Is this a chance to see what this UCF team is all about, dealing with this kind of adversity?
Adversity, man, that's the word we've been throwing around since, I guess, spring. Our coaches do a good job of putting us in adverse situations, but, it's up to us to go out there and execute.
You talk about new goals for this team, or the goals the same? Talk about that at all?
Of course. The goal is always the same. We want to go 1-0 every week. That hasn't happened in 2 games, but that doesn't change our main goal of this season.
Well, coming into the season, those main goals were New Year's 6 again, conference championship, and those are going to be tough hills to climb now because of the losses. So I know you focus on 1-0, but how do you sort of move forward, knowing that those ultimate goals are kind of out of your control now?
Well, we never actually said New Year's 6 bowl. With all that stuff after the season, that's stuff that we can't control. Our only goal was just go out there and do what we can every Saturday. The rest will take care of itself. That's how we felt about it. But the goal is always 1-0, no matter what anybody tells you. Because doing that, it just takes care of everything else. Like, there's nothing else you can do but go 1-0. Like, you can't force people to put you in this game or that bowl game, stuff like that after the season. So 1-0 was always the goal. Ultimately, a conference championship.
Is this a good week for a bye? I mean, you guys get to rest and heal up, but coming off a loss, would you rather not have to wait before another game?
Win or loss, I just think it was a good point in the season to get our bodies recovered and be able to take on this next half of the season.
You got any plans for the bye weekend? A lot of guys get to go home. Are you gonna go for the Panhandle?
Yeah, I love my family, so I'm gonna see them. I know a lot of other guys as well, are gonna go see their family this weekend.
What do you think this team's gonna come back with after this weekend? Getting ready for ECU. Will there be a change in anything when you guys prepare for this next game?
Attitude, physicality, all those things that we can't control ourselves, like physicality, attitude, executing plays, things like that. That's the only thing that's, I think this team has to work on. Like, we're a good team. We just came on the wrong end of 2 games, so we're not really walking around with our heads down. We know what we can do.
Is it easier to fix things after a loss? Obviously, you don't want to lose, but maybe some things get swept under the rug when you keep winning. But now that you lose, is it easier to fix them?
You definitely see a lot more mistakes in a loss. You focus on a lot of little itty bitty things. You critique yourself a lot more when you take a loss rather than a win. So nobody wants to lose, but it's success and failure.
You can really sense the fine line between winning and losing in the sport. I mean, can you put that into words, like how really the fine line that there is between a win and a loss in the week?
And that's exactly why our mantra is 1-0, because it's always those little things that, if I was 1 step farther in this gap, if I took 1 less step in my back pedal, it's always those little things that catch us in the end. So that's why our mantra is so perfect for this team. I feel like we can take care of the big things, but those little things will add up to 1-point losses, 2-point losses, things like that.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Appreciate it, man.